Get it. Okay, so what I was thinking about today is, generally speaking, it is heavily advised against to self-medicate with coffee when one has ADHD. It is advised against because everybody has such diverse and unpredictable reactions. Everybody is different. Keewi, when is that Kahoot happening? I literally forgot about that. One day. My progress actually went like, and then it just flattened out. Crazy. Anyway, so everybody's response to caffeine is vastly different. It's unpredictable. Some people get jittery, some people get anxious, some people actually paradoxically get tired. So it's generally not recommended to self-medicate ADHD using coffee, especially considering that there is a 400 milligram daily recommended limit. And how do you know that somebody that's self-medicating is going to stay within that safe limit? I mean, if they're pounding down 3 monsters in order to keep themselves alert and focused, that's not healthy. So I was reflecting on that, and like, yes, it's absolutely true. You shouldn't just use caffeine willy-nilly. But then I was looking at my own schedule, and I realized, wait a minute, it actually helps me. This is not medical advice, by the way. I am reflecting on my own experience specifically. My own experience. Coffee makes me sleep. Me too, Molly, me too. It makes me focused and relaxed. Okay, so coffee makes you sleep, Molly. Caffeine never helps me, Ana Malakeres. See, and that's the thing. It's so different for everybody. Everybody reacts so differently to caffeine. It's not predictable. For me, I have an extremely high caffeine tolerance, and so I can pound down coffee, and I never get jittery. I never get, like, bouncy and super hyper. I just get focused. I just get relaxed, focused. I feel more motivated, actually, because you know that caffeine does slightly boost your dopamine levels, and dopamine is responsible for motivation, for basically, like, wanting. Dopamine feels good. It helps you desire things. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you get a dopamine burst when you scroll on TikTok. That's an example of bad dopamine boosting. Gwen said, in early high school, I self-medicated by dry swallowing 5 milligrams of melatonin at strategic points in the day. That is so terrible. I'm 1 sentence in and I already hate it. What do you mean 5 milligrams of melatonin? That is so terrible. You don't need more than 1 milligram. Also, how the fuck are you self-medicating by taking melatonin during the day? What? Because stimulants make me depressed as fuck, but melatonin slowed my brain down to the point where I didn't feel awful? It's not something I recommend, but it worked for me. Jace, thank you for the 15 florps. Hello, antithesis junk girl. Oh, antithesis junk girl. Welcome in, twin. Hello, how are you doing on a scale from 1 to 10? 1 being terrible, 10 being amazing, be honest. Jace, that actually sounds like the worst plan ever, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, right off the bat, that's raising some alarms because you know me, I love LARPing about melatonin, and I stand by the I was gonna say fact, but it's something that I believe to be true based on what I've seen, is that you don't need more than 1 milligram. So, to be taking 5 milligrams during the day, multiple times, that sounds terrible. Not to mention that melatonin's purpose is not to make you tired. Hello, Fem Hiccup. Does your name have to do with How to Train Your Dragon? Yo, I was thinking about How to Train Your Dragon this morning. I was actually laying awake, I couldn't fall back asleep. That's why I slept so badly, because I woke up early and I couldn't fall back asleep. And I was thinking about How to Train Your Dragon, and I had this soundtrack stuck in my head. It was playing on repeat. I love How to Train Your Dragon. Anyway, so taking melatonin just fucks with your circadian rhythm. If you take it at a strategic time, like before you want to fall asleep, maybe an hour or 2 before you want to fall asleep, then it's good because, well, it's good depending on how you use it. It's not good to just take for fun, but to take it mindfully when you know what you're doing, it can be beneficial, especially for things like jet lag, because it directly impacts your circadian rhythm. But it's not just a make you tired pill, which I feel like a lot of people think it is. Meow. Amos is here. Actually, caffeine for some reason only helps me when I get it through tea. Interesting. Maybe that has to do with the lower amount of caffeine, because I know tea has caffeine, but it's not as much as coffee. Interesting. What if you desire coffee and coffee makes you desire coffee and then that makes you desire coffee? Interesting point. Interesting hypothesis. Dopamine feels good. It makes you want things. You know what I'm saying? What? What? Maybe I'm not the most eloquent. Thank you for the follow, Fem Hiccup. I appreciate it, Twin. Meow. Currently a 7, no complaints. That's good to hear, Twin. Glycine is the best supplement. 3 to 5 grams before sleep make me sleep very deep. Glycine? Interesting. Never heard of that. Caffeine doesn't make me feel shit, doesn't give me energy. I just have multiple coffees every day, and then one day I don't have my morning coffee and be anxious and jittery. Interesting. Well, in the USA, the most commonly available amount of melatonin is 5 milligrams. It's an America problem. Agreed. Agreed. I find it so stupid. There are 10 milligram melatonin tablets or gummies or whatever. What are you doing with 10 milligrams, bro? Like, you don't need that much. There's no need for all that. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. I take a 1 milligram tablet that's like chewable and I bite it in half. How to Train Your Dragon PS3 game was goated? No. Holy ball knowledge. Tex my twin. No, I didn't play that game, but I know what you're talking about. Holy ball knowledge. See, that goes beyond my jurisdiction. I am addicted to coffee. Interesting. I'm pretty sure I already talked about this, but my doctor prescribed me 500 milligrams of caffeine a day. I remember that, Casanetero, and I'm very concerned about your doctor and their practices because the safe limit is 400 milligrams, and that's for adults. And you're 16? That's really concerning. I'm not a professional, but like, how could the safe limit be raised for a minor, for a child? You were even younger when you were taking 500 milligrams of caffeine a day. Like, that's, to me, that just seems like such a red flag. The last time I ever tried taking melatonin, I have never had worse sleep in my entire life. Animal Ocaris, I'm very curious. How many milligrams did you take, and when did you take it? Caffeine makes me sleepy? Interesting. For the ADHDers in chat, I recommend guanfacine. What is that? ADHD med that helps you eat. Oh. How do you feel about circadian rhythms? I know there's like supposedly 4 different types of sleep cycles, but I also heard about through evolution that maybe some people are adjusted to stay up and watch the pack.
I don't FW sports but balls.
I don't F with sports but balls. Okay, Jace. Thank you for the Florps, twin. Okay. Yeah, Molly, I was reading a book about sleep, and it actually talked about that, how evolutionarily speaking, we have developed different sleep schedules. Molly, I am picking up what you're putting down. Again, not a professional, but from what I've read, people do have different circadian rhythms. There are also sleep disorders, for example, delayed sleep phase. I consider myself to have a very late circadian rhythm. My entire life, I have always struggled to sleep at a regular time. If I go to bed at 10:30, 11, it actually takes me around 2 hours to fall asleep.
Catheter we.
What? Thank you for the Florps, twin. Yeah. So, Molly, I'm picking up what you're putting down. From what I know, there are, in fact, morning larks and night owls.